Hello, it's Pixie doing another video. A few things. So I've just collected the doll, and the doll's name is Charlie at the moment, or Toby. There's some psychic connection between the previous owner, and everything seems not too bad. Because what you tend to have, if you take possession of something that has a spiritual connection with someone, you've really got to ask permission for a kind of handover with your sort of energy, I guess. You've got to think the intention. And so I think the child, before the doll was lost, was distressed because he didn't intend to lose the doll. And so the doll has that energy with it as well, a little bit of a distressed energy, and it's had his face, must have had his face hit by a car or something. He's alright, but he's basically he's lost use of his eyes. So I'm going to have to do, I may do some kind of surgery on him to get his eyes, fix his eyes on the doll. So it's like a doll rescue thing. So I kind of saw it there and I had this weird feeling I should go and collect it, and I thought that's just this bizarre feeling, and I ignored it. And then it came back to me because what I was sensing was the energy of the child, so whatever's connected into it, and it's more than one type of energy in there. It may be that there's things associated with the child that are connected to it as well. So it's all a bit strange. But when I first picked it up, so I've got a bag, and I thought, well, okay, it's a good enough time now in the dark. It's a bit weird picking up some doll off the road, and somebody sees me walking across and picking it up in the bag. They might think I've picked up some roadkill to eat or something really bizarre. But weirdly saying that, you have this thing whereby, like the synchronicities, but it's more the intention goes out to the universe. And so, I mean, I wanted to make some kind of doll thing before, so this doll turned up. A week ago before that, there was a badger that had been knocked out. But I thought it'd be a bit gross using a badger. I wouldn't mind sort of combining things and making stuff, something that's between, it's between realms really. It's between the realms of a toy and the animal realms, I guess, if I had feathers to it and stuff like that. I was thinking about maybe the scalp adding feathers to it, but I'll probably have a look, sort of like a little hawk boy or something. I'll have to have a look at the head for that. And it would be a case of implanting some some feathers in the top of his head, and then maybe using some resin and glue it on the other side, and then the resin, I like give it a brain of some kind. So I don't know yet. I'll have to have a look at it, how I might reuse it. It's a bit wet, a bit dirty, so I've got to give it a cleaning. Probably put it in a hot bowl of water and just leave it soaking with some bicarbonate, and so that way all the grease and stuff, anything like that comes off. If it has got grease, I'll have to just rebuild the body or do something else with it. There's plenty of opportunities there. And his face, yeah, like I say, if I can't restore the eyes, I may just remove them and possibly put some kind of gemstones in there, so you see through the gemstones, and then build up some other sort of elements in there. Maybe put some kind of hidden things in there, and then seal it up. So his head would be quite heavy. I have to then make his body a bit more weight his body down. And I've got to decide the age as well, as the age of this entity. And so at least it gives it a new lease of life. So he was reluctant to come with me. I mean, basically I said, you don't mind, you know, come with me and I'll fix you. And he said, leave me alone, go away, like some child. And I sensed something was a bit, because once I picked it up, I went to get a glove so I could inspect it better. And the boot started trying to close on my head, so I ended up quickly stopping it. But I thought, that's strange, it just never happened before. So yeah, so it's kind of influences your luck. So I don't know, restore him and then figure out what it wants. Which might sound all crazy to some people. What? But if you've got things that you love, love is a magic in itself. Magic of intention, and also things formed from love. Like, you know how if you're in love with someone, you kind of create this avatar in your head. So you create a third person, so which is your ideal version of what this person is, and it's usually much better than the actual person, the version of the person. You know, they're always nice to you, or they love you deep inside, really, and stuff like that. When actually it might be not. That's not what's going on. But from that connection with them, you've created this avatar, a projection. It's your own universe of this person. You know, this love and all this intentions and stuff. When the reality is quite different. And when you break up, this is what messes you up, because you have this. The stronger you've created this idealist avatar in your head of some sorts, the harder it is to break your relationship, because you still feel that this thing likes you or has feelings for you, which they do. They probably do at some level, but they're trying to separate themselves from you. They're trying to disassociate themselves. That's why stuff like the no contact is to create the space in order to adjust their mind, and then, you know, see how they feel. If there was some reason why they were attracted to you, then that will sort of reactivate, I guess, and that's that kind of idea. But anyway, for people that have attachment to objects, like sentimental value and so on, they may project a part of their psyche into them. And if you sort of study that art of like projecting your energy into something, you can create something within a doll. But it's a type of magic, really. It's like what they call an automaton. So it's a form of what they call conjuration. But if you're using your own energy, it's something quite different. You're animating them in some way. With your own life force is different, because the energy is coming from you. It's not coming from another source. But if you use something like a kind of magic, like possession, then what you're doing is you're putting an entity into it to exist. So first for me, I make, by putting things in the doll, I make it a home for energy. So there's always more going on. That's why I put orgone inside the other doll I created, and other elements inside it. I think it's got Himalayan salts and things, so it's got lots of weird minerals in it. And I've kind of allowed my intuition to drive it. So, for instance, for Charlie, you probably have some herbs put in them to have things that are create positive energy. I mean, if I wanted to, I could create a doll with some kind of negative energy field around it, but there would be no benefit from it. I mean, basically, you create something, you'd have an issue with yourself. Not unless somebody wanted revenge against someone, and you could possibly create something that would have an impact of that. It's different elements of, I guess, voodoo, really, or hoodoo, but they're not to be created for dark purposes. There's a few reasons why. It can backfire if you create something as a weapon. If someone's been unjustly injured, say someone was killed, murdered by someone, and you take the hair of the victim, maybe some other charms as well, and you put that with a doll or something, and you put that in their kind of field, then what would happen is the killer would end up nightmares and start having odd things happen to him. At a psychic level, he'd be getting messed up. He may be already messed up anyway. He may be being abused for something else. But you could create something like that, which would be slightly different because the intention of that is kind of as justice. It's a justice doll. You're punishing them. And they're mine to do that as well. It's karma. It's a matter of karma. You're creating a kind of karmic doll, and maybe when the doll might come to a peace because it exists. But yeah, it'd be a strange thing to send someone. So there's a few different other things, or you could take an object that belongs to someone, and then you could basically sense the energy of the person, and that would act as a kind of gateway. You could use that to cause some influences. It could be that you put a word in his head, or project something like that into a person. I mean, it's like that doll. I can probably meditate through the doll on the other owner. And I guess with the dolls healed, it may have a kind of positive influence on the previous owner as well, the psychic trauma or anything. So that's a kind of darker side. See, magic isn't quite clearly white or black; it's more grey. But the user channels their own energy through that type of magic, and so they can create the opportunity. They can create something quite dark and something quite positive. So for me, I tend to work with certain laws, so it's a bit different. Elemental, plants, nature use, and other things. And also using the intention, and then there's also the consciousness magic, where you kind of dig into something. So who knows? Yeah, I'll make some masterpiece, a bit of artwork. And the thing is, something looks attractive and interesting. When somebody gazes upon it, they automatically give it a certain value. Someone says that's beautiful, or it inspires some positive energy. I used like my other doll. It's raining now. I had this other doll I created. Now I showed it to a guy, and normally he doesn't like dolls at all. This is a freaky. I showed him this doll I made. He seemed to like it, which was sort of very different. The actual face of it was it looked quite Slavic actually in nature. So I don't know. Create this other type of energy though. So it's female. I think it might have some male energy in there, but it's a baby, so I don't know if it's It could be that the girl who owned it liked the idea of it being a boy, but it was dressed in a kind of feminine colours. I don't know. So. Because a boy would possess a doll like that, not that I'm aware of. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a Cabbage Patch doll. Apart from staring into his eyes, I see it, still see it in my head now. And they were quite interesting dolls, because they were owned by different sexes. So, yeah. So we'll see. It's part of a thing. I have to put some magic. I can't. Once I create it, I can't sell it. Might have certain rules. Because it'd be, I guess it'd be enchanted. It's like crystals, it chooses its own owner. You could buy a crystal, but you might not get along with it. You have to bond at some level with it. Just use your energy, and so if you use crystals in it, so you can also cleanse, crystals can cleanse things. So So first you do naturally just clean it, and that acts as a cleansing type ritual. And then the next phase would be to, your intention of what you're going to do with it, get an idea, and then look at what ingredients you might add to it. You know the old thing they say, spice and all things nice, and boys and girls are. Oh, stop please. I've just put things that kind of promote certain stuff. It might have some other effects of it, because it will bond into the entity. So I might put some like datura in it. Maybe have a hypnotic effect. That'd be crazy. Someone looks at a doll and they just like fall in love with it. A love doll. Actually, that would be a very powerful curse on someone. They go, that doll's a bit unusual. And they look at it and then they start, and then the scent of it will start getting them into a trance. Like, yeah, there's something really special about that doll. So there's all sorts of magic. It doesn't have to be evil, it's just bring the best out of people, really. It might be that what would happen with a love spell on a toy is it could bring about fond memories of when they used to own a toy. So they get reminded of when they had their first of their teddy bear, or they had a transformer or something, taken back in time. Yeah, there's lots of potential for it. I just have to have a look at it. Have a look at it when I'm back home. Right, okay, well, let's pick the sign off for now and see you later.